You know, it's a classic New Hampshire fall. The leaves? Absolutely gorgeous. But we're in a pretty serious drought. So the last thing you're probably thinking about is your rain gutters, right? But what if I told you this dry spell is actually making them more dangerous than ever? Yeah, it sounds weird. Let's break down this strange and really critical paradox. So, this is the big question, isn't it? We're in the driest fall on record, so why on earth should we be worried about our gutters? I mean, it just feels totally counterintuitive. No rain, no gutter problems. That's how it should work. But for homeowners all across New Hampshire, the reality right now is the complete opposite. The danger isn't the water, it's the lack of it. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't just a hunch. The data is crystal clear. Just look at this map from the U.S. Drought Monitor. 100%. The entire Granite State is officially in a drought. And see that dark red chunk? That covers more than 32% of us. We're talking extreme drought territory here. That's a level of severity that has officials making moves we haven't seen in a long, long time. All right, Section 1, the Great Drought Paradox. This is where it gets interesting, because it's a total case of out of sight, out of mind. But the problem, well, it's quietly building up right over your head. Here's the thing you gotta remember. A drought doesn't stop fall from happening. The trees, they're still dropping all those beautiful leaves, all those pine needles, all those little twigs, just like they do every single year. But here's the kicker. Without our usual autumn rains to flush everything out, all that stuff is just sitting there, piling up, getting drier and more packed down with every passing day. Okay, next up, your home's tinderbox. And this is not an exaggeration. That buildup leads us straight to the number one, most immediate danger. A danger that, honestly, most of us completely overlook. Your gutters have basically turned into a tinderbox that's clamped right onto the edge of your roof. So why is this such a huge deal here in New Hampshire? Well, check this out. Our state has over 80% tree coverage. That's one of the highest rates in the entire country. And what does that mean? It means a never-ending supply of fuel, of kindling that's dropping straight from the sky and landing right in your gutters. And we're not talking about a small increase in risk here. No way. The data shows that having all that dry, packed-in debris can crank up your home's fire risk by a whopping 300%. 300. It's literally like lining your roof with a fuse, just waiting for a spark. I mean, just look at this. This isn't just leaves anymore. It's pure kindling. And here's the really scary part. According to the experts, something like 90% of homes that catch fire during wildfires don't get hit by the main wall of flame. Nope. They're ignited by tiny, floating embers that can travel for more than a mile through the air. All it takes is one of those embers to land in a gutter packed like this, and your whole house could go up. And look, if you still need proof of just how serious the situation is, listen to this quote from Steve Sherman at the New Hampshire Forest Protection Bureau. He said, "This is the first time a resource like the fire helicopter has been stationed in New Hampshire since 1995. 1995! That's almost 3 decades. Our state officials are not messing around with this fire risk. They're taking it incredibly seriously." All right, moving on. Section 3, an invitation for pests. Because believe it or not, fire isn't the only threat here. There's a slower, sneakier problem building up, and those clogged gutters are basically a giant welcome mat for all sorts of nasty critters. Yeah, even in a drought, all it takes is one tiny rain shower to create little pools of standing water in those clogged gutters. And boom, you've got a mosquito factory. Even worse, that trapped moisture starts to soak into the wood behind your gutters, the fascia boards. For destructive carpenter ants, that's like ringing a dinner bell. And for squirrels and rodents looking for a winter home, well, that dry, packed debris is basically a 5-star hotel right next to the warmth of your house. So you look at a picture like this and you think, wow, that's beautiful, classic New England fall. But what you're really looking at is an open house for pests, an invitation for them to move right in and start causing some major, and I mean majorly expensive, damage to the bones of your house. Okay, time to switch gears. Section 4, when the rains return. We've spent all this time talking about the problems of being too dry, but what happens when the weather finally breaks? Because we all know what's going to happen. This is New England after all. It's a simple fact of life here. Droughts do not last forever. The rains will come back, and the moment they do, That clogged gutter full of dry stuff stops being just a fire and pest risk, and it instantly becomes a full-blown water damage machine. And the first monster we're going to face is the dreaded ice dam. You know what I'm talking about. Snow and freezing rain get trapped in all that gunk, so they have nowhere to go. The water refreezes right at the edge of your roof, building a wall of ice. That wall then forces all the melting water to go backward, up and under your shingles. And that's how you get leaks, destroyed insulation, ruined drywall, and eventually mold. And then you've just got straight-up overflow. So clean gutters, like you see here, do their job. They take water and guide it safely away from your house. But clogged gutters, they do the exact opposite. You get this waterfall effect with gallons and gallons of water pouring right down next to your foundation. Did you know that can increase the risk of your basement flooding by over 500%? It's a recipe for serious structural damage. So this all brings us to a really important choice. Let's talk prevention versus catastrophe. Because really, it's not a matter of if you'll deal with your gutters, it's a matter of when. And more importantly, how much it's going to cost you when you do. Okay, just look at these numbers for a second. On one side, you've got the small, totally predictable cost of getting your gutters professionally cleaned. On the other side, a nightmare list of huge, unpredictable repair bills. We're talking thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars for things like foundation work, fixing ice dam damage, or getting rid of pests. I mean, financially, it's not even a close call. To boil it all down to one number, 90%. Being proactive, getting ahead of the problem, is up to 90% cheaper than waiting for disaster to strike and then paying for the repairs. Honestly, it's one of the smartest, easiest investments you can possibly make in your home this fall. Okay, so we've laid out all the scary stuff: fire, pests, water damage. But the good news is, the solution is actually really, really simple. So let's get into your immediate 3-step action plan to get your home protected. Step 1, just go outside and look up. Seriously, how many trees do you have looming over your house? Can you actually see leaves and junk spilling over the sides of the gutters? Step 2, and please, listen to this one. Don't try to do it yourself. Ladder accidents are one of the top reasons homeowners end up in the ER. And hiring some random person without insurance, that's a huge gamble. If they get hurt on your property, guess who's on the hook for it? You. Which leads directly to step 3, call an insured professional. So, at the end of the day, it really all comes down to this one simple question. Is trying to save a couple $100 really worth risking thousands upon thousands in damages, or even worse, a fall that could change your life forever? When you put it like that, the choice is pretty clear, isn't it? Look, don't let this drought lull you into a false sense of security. The absolute best thing you can do for your home is to get out ahead of this right now. For a professional, fully insured inspection and cleaning, you can give the team at New England Gutter Systems a call. They'll make sure your home is safe from fire, safe from pests, and ready for when those rains finally come back.